Oh, how I love the Mario series. I mean, honestly, who doesn't? It's one of the first things I think of when someone brings up Nintendo in a conversation. After all, it is one of their biggest and most popular franchises. There are so many Mario games to keep count of that it's insane. They range from so many different gaming genres such as platforming, RPGs, a wide variety of sports, and even 10 ways to throw a party. Well, actually 14 if you count the handhelds. Now with all that said, the Super Mario series is nowhere near perfect. In fact, as much as I love the series, I have a few issues with it. And that's what I'm here to discuss today. My top 5 problems with the Mario series. So let me get a few things out of the way before I begin. First of all, I am not hating on the Mario series, despite all the issues I have. I'm still a big fan of the series, and that fact will never cease to change. Next, this is all my opinion. If you happen to enjoy these things about the Mario series, good for you. And finally, to give you guys a heads up, I will be ranting quite a bit throughout this video. If you feel that you would get offended by my ranting towards this topic, then I suggest you leave now. And if you do stay and get offended, then you may leave a dislike, but I will not accept hate comments. Now with all of that out of the way, let's go! You know that feeling when you're playing a Mario game and you get stuck on a difficult level and it's frustrating you to the point where you just want to smash your controller into pieces? Yeah, I've gotten that feeling sometimes. But luckily in the recent games like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario 3D Land, and 3D World, Nintendo has provided us a way to easily get past a hard level and lift up all of the stress from our shoulders. Isn't that fantastic? Well, for me, not really. So these level assistance features were made to make our gaming lives much easier. Whether it's New Super Mario Bros. Wii's Super Guides or the White Tanuki Leaf from 3D World, the game you're playing will pretty much offer you a free pass through the level if you find yourself dying too many times. Now I appreciate what Nintendo is trying to do, give us a helping hand if we're having trouble, and I'm sure some people, especially younger kids ages 5 to 10, would get all giddy with excitement and relief when they see the magic block appear. But as for the rest of us, we love a good challenge, so what if the level is frustrating? We're not going to give up until we beat it. The early Mario games didn't have any level assistance, so if us players were stuck, we would have to tough it out and keep trying. And yes, I know it's optional, but every time I see that freaking block, I feel like the game is mocking me. Like, oh, is someone having a rough time with this level? You know you want to hit me. You know you want to be done with this level and move forward. Of course I want to move forward, you stupid block. But I'd rather do it right, by beating it myself. I don't want the game to be holding my hand the whole way through. I can tell you guys right now, you may be happy that you pretty much got to skip the level, but it's not as satisfying as beating it yourself. If you want to beat the level, you gotta work for it. If you see that block pop up, ignore it at all costs. Wow, that got pretty heated. And that was only number 5. Honestly, it's not that huge of a deal. Let's move on, shall we? Like the level assistance feature, this one is also not that big of a deal. But it is something I get aggravated with and that I want to acknowledge. And that is that Mario games have a bad habit of reusing stuff like character artwork and voice clips. I know it's a strange thing to be complaining about, but I feel like it's downright lazy for Nintendo to do such a thing. Let me give you guys a few examples, starting with the artwork. Here's Bowser Jr.'s artwork from Super Mario Galaxy. Now here's his artwork from Mario Tennis Open. Look familiar? How about Daisy's Mario Kart Wii artwork? Looks nice and all, until you realize that they just slapped a cart next to her Mario Party 8 artwork. And then for Mario Party 10, they took her Mario Kart 7 artwork and got rid of the cart. Seriously? Now I could be here all day listing a bunch of examples, but let me talk about the worst offender of them all. Mario Party Star Rush. They did an amazing job with the box art. But back when the game was announced at E3 last year, they released a screenshot of the early box art design, which was this. What the heck? That's so lazy. Those are all previous artworks of Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. But it gets worse. It turns out that this whole thing was previously used for freaking cans of Mario SpaghettiOs. I don't even have words for this crap. Now, I don't know if the box art was simply just a placeholder, or the huge barrage of complaints from fans brought Nintendo to their senses to change it. But either way, I'm glad they fixed their case of uh-oh SpaghettiOs. Oh yeah, I still haven't talked about reusing voice clips yet. Well, it's a common thing that Nintendo does, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mainly noticed it with characters like Yoshi and Donkey Kong, but it's understandable since they don't really talk. They also like to reuse grunts and shouts of excitement from other characters too. Sometimes it's annoying, but again, it's not so bad. But there is one recycled voice clip that bothers me to no end. Well, that's a nice voice clip. It definitely captures the situation that Peach is in, along with the peril and distress that she's feeling, not to mention her desperate plea for Mario to save her. What about Galaxy 2's opening? Again? The same thing? Well, what about 3D Land's opening? Again? Okay, how about Mario Odyssey? Okay, that tears it. Nintendo, what is the meaning of this? It's the same voice clip. Every time Peach has gotten kidnapped since Mario Galaxy, it's always been the same freaking Mario! I get it. Peach wants Mario to save her, but does it really need to be the same voice clip? I mean, come on, Nintendo. Why can't you just call Samantha Kelly to the recording studio and have her spend a session doing nothing but shouting Mario's name? And then you could pick one take to use for each upcoming Mario game. It's fine, I guess. I mean, it's just a little bit too redundant and annoying. And no, I don't have anything against Princess Peach. It's Nintendo's decision to reuse that voice clip that really bothers me. And hey, maybe its use in the Mario Odyssey trailer was just a placeholder. I doubt it. But hey, I won't let that stop it from becoming the best Mario game to ever exist. In case you weren't aware, I'm a huge fan of video games, especially Nintendo ones. And because of that, I don't really give a crap about sports. I don't have anything against them, I'm just not really an athletic person. However, by taking any kind of sport and simply adding Mario to the mix, out will come an exciting and enjoyable experience for everyone, whether they like sports or not. I really enjoy me some good Mario sports games, whether it's Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Mario Strikers, Mario Baseball, even Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Nintendo sure knows how to take a simple sport and change it into a game so fun that it makes the original sport look like a boring school lecture on a rainy day. However, with that being said, I feel like the more recent Mario sports titles are starting to turn into said boring rainy day lecture. I mean, have you seen the recent Mario Sports Superstars game? The idea of 5 sports in one is great, but what you really get are some watered down versions of previous sports titles. It's not bad, but it's just generic and dull beyond belief. What happened, Nintendo? Remember Mario Power Tennis on GameCube? There's so much to love about that game. There's a great selection of characters, each with 2 of their own unique power shots, a bunch of awesome locations with their own wacky gimmicks, a variety of mini-games that involve you doing things like painting a giant picture, feeding Chain Chomps, and even fighting Mecha Bowser from Super Mario Sunshine, all by utilizing your tennis skills. Not to mention, there was a funny and awesome opening movie which involved Wario and Waluigi doing their usual schemes to become the tennis champions. There are even hilarious outtakes of it that play during the credits.
Don't expect mouth to mouth.
And every character has their own unique victory cutscene that plays when you win a tournament as them. And I gotta say, they're amazing. So let's fast forward to 2012 when Mario Tennis Open released on the 3DS. This one's a bit of a letdown. For example, the character roster isn't as good, and the courts are pretty forgettable for me. Also, there are less minigames than Power Tennis. I do have a few positives about this game, such as the minigames, even though there are only 4 of them, are pretty interesting and fun, such as the Super Mario Bros. One. And you can even play as your Mii and customize it to your liking, which I found pretty cool. But sadly, there are no awesome victory cutscenes or opening cutscene with their own bloopers. But it's on the 3DS, so it's understandable. Overall, it's a decent game, but it's nowhere near as amazing as Mario Power Tennis. But hey, there's also a Mario Tennis game on the Wii U, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. I'm sure Nintendo put a lot of time and effort in this game to make it even better than Mario Power Tennis. Let's check it out. What? Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? This is a disgrace to the Mario Tennis series, to all the Mario sports styles, and it's a disgrace to Mario as a whole. Okay, it's not a terrible game. The controls feel nice and it's playable, but the problem this game has is its lack of content and creativity. For example, here's the roster. Only 16 characters, which is 2 less than Power Tennis. That's fine and all, but where the heck are fan favorites like Diddy Kong, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, and Petey Piranha? Instead, we have characters like the Sprixie Princess from 3D World? I guess it's an interesting choice. It makes more sense than Honey Queen in Mario Kart 7 did. Also, why on earth is Bowser Jr. in his clown car while playing tennis? He was perfectly fine on the ground in the previous titles. What, did he get super glued to his seat, or is he just so freaking lazy nowadays? Anyway, moving on. You want to know how many tennis courts there are in this game? 1. Only 1 freaking tennis court in the whole game. But hey, you can get different floors to change up the gameplay. Fun, right? As for the gameplay, it's basically just Mario Tennis Open, but with things added to it like Mega Mushrooms and the Ultra Smash shot. That's it. No offensive or defensive special shots, and no freaking tournament mode, which means no victory cutscenes. Oh, and what about minigames? We can't have a Mario Tennis game without minigames, right? Well, here's our minigame. It's called Mega Ball Rally. Mega Ball Rally. Mega Ball Rally! Oh my gosh. That's their idea of a minigame? Like, seriously. All it is a tennis match with a giant ball. And they try to pass it off as a minigame. Wow. Props to you, Nintendo. Props to you. Okay, I better wrap this up because I've been going on too long. So, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It had the potential to be something even bigger and better than Mario Power Tennis. But no, they just took everything that was great about Power Tennis, flushed it down the commode, and then updated the graphics and added a few small new things, and then released it to the world. Well, that's very disappointing, and it's sad. Like, this feels like a demo. Like, this whole game feels like a demo, like you would play at E3 or something. If you haven't played this game and you're planning on picking it up, don't do it. It's not worth your time. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. More like Mario Tennis, I'ma smash this game to pieces. Seriously, screw this game. Let me start this entry by stating this. I've played every single mainline Mario platformer, and I've enjoyed all of them for their own various reasons. However, there is one thing that most of these games have in common that I have grown tired of, and I feel should be changed for future titles. And that is the freaking plot of each game. For those who aren't familiar with what I speak of, the main plot of the original Super Mario Bros. Is that Mario must journey across the Mushroom Kingdom to rescue Princess Peach, who has been kidnapped by Bowser. Now let's take that simple plot and use it again and again and again for pretty much every single Mario game to come. I'm sorry, but it's getting old, Nintendo, but I will give it this. Some of the games can actually get pretty creative with a simple plot, like Super Mario Galaxy. And Super Mario Sunshine had a great thing going too. That was until Bowser was shoehorned in the last minute. Also, Nintendo has shown that they're definitely capable of making plots that don't involve kidnapping Peach, like 3D World. Oh, but Bowser is still the main villain. But hey, if you're tired of Bowser, there's Super Mario Bros. 2 and the Super Mario Land Game Boy games, which have completely different villains. But those were the early days. Lately, it seems like that every game is and will be Bowser kidnaps Peach, go save her. Oh, please Nintendo, no more of that. Or at least take a break from it. Why should saving the princess be the only reason for Mario to have an adventure? Have him face a new threat to the Mushroom Kingdom, one whose purpose doesn't involve kidnapping anyone. Or maybe bring back some villains of the past that may have been forgotten, like Tatanga or Wart. Or maybe Wario and Waluigi could rival against the Mario Bros. Or maybe Bowser could side with Mario for once. Well, it's happened before, but not in a mainline game. Nintendo, if you're watching this, please jot down some of these ideas. I think people could agree with me on the fact that Bowser kidnapping Peach has been overdone beyond belief. If you could just do something different with your Mario plots for once, I can guarantee you could still make an amazing game. But if you keep using the same plot over and over again, the gameplay may be awesome and fun, but the story is not going to be a highlight for me. And hey, if Peach doesn't get kidnapped anymore, we don't have to worry about hearing... Am I right? Alright, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. What do I find to be my biggest problem with the Mario series? What bugs me more than rehashing content in today's sports games? Well, the answer is coming up. Nintendo, I have a serious question for you. Where did everyone's personality go? Okay, let me explain myself. There was a point in time where Mario characters acted in ways in which we could, in a sense, get to know them more. Like we could actually hear, see, and feel the emotion behind their actions and what they say. For example, Mario is pretty optimistic in most of his games, but has been shown to have a sad and angry side. Luigi is easily frightened and shy, but also has a good heart and is willing to overcome anything in his way. Daisy is energetic and outgoing, with the occasional hint of attitude. And Wario and Waluigi are always up to something mischievous, and also rude and annoying. But hey, I love it! And that's not to say it's completely vanished, it just hasn't been brought to attention and expanded upon recently. Back to Mario Power Tennis, the victory cutscenes! The way the characters interact with one another, that's what makes it so great! Everyone's personality gets a moment to shine, like Peach's cutscene.
I love you so much. I love you. Oh.
Wait a minute. What did Mario just say? I must be hearing things. I mean, there's no way I heard Mario just confess his love for Peach.
I love you so much. I love you. Oh.
Oh my goodness! He did it! And Peach does the same thing in Mario's cutscene. Nintendo actually had Mario and Peach confess their love for each other. That is insane. It's confirmed. Mario and Peach are gonna get married in Odyssey. It's confirmed. Let's look at Luigi's victory cutscene.
Nice job. Way to go.
Look way they're interacting with each other. And no, Mario is not mental at Game Theory. He's just messing around with his brother. It's nothing but a little sibling rivalry. How about Mario Golf Toadstool Tour? Listen to some of these taunts.
This a very tense moment. Who do you think you are, Buster? Only cheaters mess up.
Seriously, are you aiming there?
Amateur.
How often do you hear the characters speak in full sentences like that? That's what I like, Nintendo. Give us more of that. And let's not forget Mario Strikers Charge. The way everyone expresses their emotions when they score goals or when they're losing to the other team. It's nothing quite like what I've seen, and yet I loved it. Nowadays, it seems like all the characters do is say things like, yeah, and woohoo, and here we go, and oh no, I lost. It's starting to get bland, Nintendo. Why can't you do things like you did during the GameCube era, but even better? It was so entertaining and amazing to see things like Mario and Peach helping Luigi up after Koopa Troopa knocked him over, or Luigi freaking out over what's under Shy Guy's mask, or Wario begging his teammates to keep throwing him in the air, or when Daisy gets pissed off to the point where two of her teammates are huddling in fear. I can go on and on and on about these kind of things, but we'd be here for hours. So in conclusion, the biggest problem I have with the Mario series is the fact that Nintendo pretty much stopped doing all these minor but amazing things with the characters that really gives their games a kick. Think of it like this. Nintendo makes Mario games and they're all pretty great, but there was a period of time where they added something extra, but at the same time not really needed. But that extra something they added really brings a whole new level of greatness to the game. But then they stopped doing that, and now it's not the same anymore. But I speak for all of us Mario fans when I say, we want it back. So Nintendo, please consider giving the Mario characters their fantastic personalities back, and this time, better than ever. I am Bituno222, and I hope you guys enjoyed this countdown. Whether you agree or disagree with my opinions, thank you guys for tuning in. And Nintendo, if you're listening, I appreciate everything you guys do for us fans. And I hope you take some of the things I said into consideration to make the Mario series even better than it already is. With that said, I look forward to Super Mario Odyssey and every future Mario game coming up. See you guys later.